Let's go. So, LukaNation, before you kill me, I think you want to listen to this intro. It's going to be a little bit of a different episode, but we thought long and hard about doing this, and it's going to make sense. We want to bring you guys more NFT content. We do. And there's a million reasons that we mentioned on the last episodes of why we want to do that. But honestly, it's because the industries are so similar to sports cards and collectibles, yet they're so new. Right? And today we have the Sutto sisters. So we've had Steph on before, I believe it was February or March when we had her on. And because the space is so new, these ladies in front of me, it's not only that they're a part of the NFT world, they're creating the NFT world, right? So there's something cool about that where you get to meet people that are building something that they're really passionate about. And just to give you guys an example, a million of you have used Evaluate That Market when looking at your 6, 7, 10-figure Topshot collections. Well, Jennifer works for Evaluate That Market. She runs social for Evaluate That Market. They've changed the UI. It's so intuitive. There's so many graphs. So little things like that we'll talk about today about the NFT world. Steph is working on kind of a stealthy project. Maybe she'll give us some details with CrypToys. So needless to say, this is going to be all NFT, but there's going to be more here. There's going to be how these ladies got into content, what they're doing, and how they're building their career in parallel as an industry grows. People listening that, they're in sports cards, they could mirror that. So without further ado, a little bit on the longer side of an intro, but I want to welcome these ladies to the show. I know it's going to be a blast and it's going to be a completely different vibe, but I hope you stay till the end and let us know, one, what you thought about this, and two, if you want more NFT content. So Steph Sutto, Jennifer Sutto, I want to welcome you both to the show. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
It's awesome to be on. And by the way, pronounce Sutto,
but close enough.
But everyone gets it wrong, That's how it is.
Okay, I apologize. So you guys live in the same house, run two separate podcasts. Explain this to me, please. And I'll go to you, Steph, first. We'll go kind of counterclockwise here today.
Are you in the same house right now? Are you in the same house right now, just in different rooms? Like you're attached by a wall? Just different backgrounds like this?
In the same apartment. Yes, we are. So basically, we're identical twins. We look different. I mean, I have short hair. Jen has long hair and all that. But we are identical twins. And our whole lives, we've always been like one unit. And people always treat you like that when you're twins, that you're the twins and you're just one, almost like one person, but you're two. And yeah, throughout our career on social media, we've always kind of played into the twin thing. But honestly, we kind of recently, we're both 26. We're like, we need to start, separating ourselves out and doing our own thing. And of course, within the same industry. So naturally, people who know me know Jen. People who know Jen know me. That's just how it is. And we cross a lot of the same paths. We know a lot of the same people. But yeah, we do have our own podcast shows separately with different co-hosts. And, we work for two different companies, but both companies are in the NFT space. And so, yeah, it's kind of cool to be able to work in the same industry as your twin sister while having your own individual unique experience as well.
Jen says, I can't even say it any better.
That was great. I second that.
I can't even add anything onto it. And me and Andrew are twins. I mean, but unlike you guys, we are identical twins. I mean, we look exactly alike, and people confuse us all the time.
You tricked me for a second. I'm like, wait, can I see the wait a minute.
No.
You have better hair, Cage.
Yes, I do, but I have better hair than everyone. But here's the thing: it's not about being better; it's about being better. So you're next to each other. You're one wall apart. And me and Andrew, we've done this thing, worlds apart. He's in a different country. He's in a different location every day. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Not true.
World traveler.
Exactly.
I want to ask. So, I mean, when we had you on, Steph, your account was, Twitter account was like 2,000-3,000 followers. I looked today. You guys are both in double figures. I think you're 12,500. Jennifer, you too.
No, don't stop there.
Clearly, you're doing something right.
Don't stop there. One of you, and I don't know which one because you're twins, so it doesn't matter. It's the same person. It's like station. You won't know what that means. It's a Bill and Ted thing. Who has more? One of you has like 50 more.
I don't even know.
Let me see. Okay, so I have 12.7 at the moment. Jen, let's see. Jen has 13.1. Oh shit, Jen's got me beat. I need to do a giveaway or something. I need to get up there.
Here's the best part. I expected to get the answer was going to be, like Jen was like, I don't even know, but she knew. but I expected, yeah, we know you know. I expected to be like, yeah, and she gives her a hard time about it.
I didn't know how many followers she had. No, because Steph's the one that's competitive. So I'm more chill. Like I don't really care, but Steph will always be competitive towards me. So if I were to rub something in her face, like she would just be like, turn on her competitiveness.
Planning
so
how I'm gonna all of a sudden be.
I don't even bother.
Listen, if you're listening, guys.
Cage, I honestly didn't know that she was up there like that, like a couple hundred more. I'm gonna have to plan something out.
You got to work harder. That's all. You got to work harder. And LukaNation, if you're listening to this, make sure you're following Steph. And for a little
follow
while,
me for a pity
follow. Unfollow Jennifer, and even that up a little. No, I'm just playing.
That's savage. That is savage.
I'm just playing.
He went on mute. I'll go to Jen. So I'm curious. So in this year of NFTs, 2021, your family, your friends who aren't in this world, how do you explain this world to them?
That's a good question. I mean, for the most part, I don't really explain it to many people. Like, unless somebody asks me what I do, I don't often, just go out of my way to tell people. But yeah, I will like sit them down and explain it and, say, what an NFT is. It's a unique digital asset. For the first time ever, we're actually able to digitally own things. On the internet, you can't, actually own things. Or if you're playing a video game, those in-game items, you don't actually own them. As soon as you get the next best game, the upgrade, it's like you lose all that you worked hard for. And so, now you can actually permanently own something, and it's tied to the blockchain, and you can move it into different platforms, as long as it's a non-custodial wallet, unlike NBA Topshot, of course. But, I'll usually kind of just talk about a bunch of different things and share different examples and, really, really take the time to not just say like, yeah, it's a digital collectible, you can make a lot of money. Like, it's like, you really want to explain it to them because this is the future, and I think people are willing to kind of learn more about NFTs, but, they don't often have, it's not like there's I guess you could YouTube it. What is an NFT and everything, but there's not like books out about NFTs and everything yet. It's just such a new space.
I'm curious. So how many people did Topshot bring into NFTs? Was it both Steph and Jen? It was your first NFT was Topshot?
It was CryptoKitties for both of us, but only, we weren't really like super into CryptoKitties. So I guess NBA Topshot was kind of like the first NFT we were really into. But I think there's almost half a million active collectors. So they have at least a moment. There's like a million that collect accounts, but those are like some multi-accounters too. But yeah, there's like 500,000 right now. But Dapper Labs, like their mission is to introduce the blockchain to 1 billion people, and I really do feel like they're going to do that with NBA Topshot, WNBA Topshot. They're coming out just today. They announced their Dr. Seuss thing they have going on. I'm sure they're going to come out with other sports as well. UFC's coming up. So I truly believe they'll be the ones. It's a nice gateway. You don't have to use cryptocurrency or, have a MetaMask wallet. It's like you can literally use your credit card, and these moments are going for cheap. And, for the most part, the cheapest one you can get is $3, and you don't have to pay gas. And so I think it's a nice transition for people from not doing anything in the space to, slowly dabbling their feet in, getting into NBA Topshot, and then from there, branch out and learn about other NFT projects and cryptocurrency.
It's a gateway drug. Easy.
Yes.
You've done it. You've explained it the right way. It is 100%. It was a gateway drug for me. 100,000%. And listen, it's really, they do it very well. The user experience is great. The customer service is great. They got a great team behind it. And CryptoKitties is now becoming popular again because of, the same interaction. That's somebody sold millions of dollars worth of these things in the last week, these CryptoKitties. It's insane.
The original ones, the Genesis.
Founders.
Yeah. The founder
That's
kitty.
crazy.
There's only 100 founder kitties. And they were priced at, people had listed them back in 2017. Imagine listing one of your NFTs in 4 years ago, and just 4 years later it sells. These things were not flying off the shelf or anything. It's they were really just, and I don't even know if those are active wallets anymore. It's I'm curious to see, those people that sold those founder kitties for 100 ETH and more, are they still active wallets? Do they still have, their seed phrase, like, can they access that money? I want to know all that.
There's going to be more of that too. I mean, we're really getting into
Yeah.
the weeds for this episode, but I mean, like things like plasma bears, that had a little resurgence there for a minute, and they'll come back as well. But I mean, those things are, they're old. Not all of them made it onto, over the bridge. It's only like 1,500 of them. It's just crazy stuff, and it's a weird world. It just is. But let's get back to basics, Andrew, and talk about what we're trying to do here and why these guys are great ambassadors for it.
Sure. So, I wanted to ask Steph about CrypToys. So, I don't know if you guys know, Cage started his career in collectibles with Beanie Babies. He was on eBay in like 1997, 98. He would get paid in money orders.
Yeah.
So, Steph works at CrypToys. Could you? This is what it says here, but Steph, maybe add some color here. An NFT native digital toy platform crafting fully interactive collectibles.
Yeah, so basically, like, kids have physical toys. We all grew up playing with physical toys. Well, kids nowadays, they're in the digital worlds, they're on their iPads, they're playing, digital games, and they need digital toys. And so CrypToys I started working with them probably 4 months ago when there was barely anyone on the team. Now we're really growing. We've got some investment and we're planning on launching late October, hopefully, assuming everything goes right. But yeah, similar to Topshot, we want to introduce the masses. So we plan on, releasing a lot. We're not just a 10K avatar project, right? Like, we want to come out with a ton and different lines, and to be able to collaborate with other IPs and, create a play to earn game. And there's huge ambitions with it. And so I'm really excited. I'm a community designer of it. So kind of head of community and designing how are we going to get everyone, on board with this and involved in the community? Because let's be real, a lot of people get into NFTs, yes, because of the money, but also because of the community and because they want to feel like they're a part of something. So that's a really important aspect. I think every NFT project, community is a super important aspect. Everyone knows about Bored Ape Yacht Club. If you don't know, they're one of the most popular NFTs, extremely expensive now. The Florida Bowen is tens of thousands of dollars. And everyone says, what do you like so much about Bored Ape Yacht Club? Community. That's the number one thing they say. So yeah, that's very important. But that's what I'm currently working on. And hopefully, people can check it out. We're on all social media platforms.
Since you've seen, I mean, there's been just in the last 2 months a ton of those, like you mentioned, those avatar projects, those PFPs. But you've seen a lot of communities, and Bored Ape Yacht Club stuck out for you. By the way, guys, if you are on Twitter, Steph, you guys are doing kind of a collaboration with the Hundreds, right? Bored Ape Yacht Club and the Hundreds. You guys are giving away some merch.
No, that was just me. I filmed a little video because I got my Bored Ape Yacht Club and Hundreds. They did a collaboration, and it was like a limited time. Anyone could buy their T-shirt and sweatshirt. They sold out in like 20 minutes. But that was just Bored Ape doing a collaboration. I had nothing to do with them. That was just Bored Ape, the company. I'm not involved with Bored Ape at all. In fact, I don't even have an ape. I wish I did, but I'm priced out at this point. The floor is like 30 ETH, which is like I think the cheapest one is like 115,000 like USD or something crazy. So but I'm just a fan of the movement. I'm just a fan of the movement and what they've done. She's a fangirl. They've paved the way, just like CryptoPunks. If anyone's ever heard of CryptoPunks, those are the first ever on Ethereum 10K generative avatar profile pic project. Well, Bored Ape is really the second to that, and they paved the way for a lot of other projects that are popping up on the scene now. So I'm a huge fan of them. I'll rock the merch, even though I don't even have one. I don't have a Bored Ape, but I'll still rock the merch.
She's a
fangirl. Okay, fair enough. What is it about the Bored Ape Yacht Club that separated their community from everyone else? Like, you see communities that they don't take off, and this one clearly has. What's made it special?
Honestly, it was really the timing, and it was like the perfect combination. Like, they hit the zeitgeist of everything just that could go right went right, and I think it was magic, timing, and their product. Like, I don't think they expected to blow up like they did. I mean, it was just a couple guys that just created this, and these apes were cool to look at, and they were cool, and people kind of identified with them, but nobody thought they were going to blow up to the extent that they did. I think it was because at that time, a lot of people had gotten into Topshot. They got into NFTs, and Topshot was kind of going down. Bored Ape launched early May, like May 1st or something. And so that was kind of when Topshot was in a bit of a slump, and everyone was looking for, okay, well, what's the next thing? Because I'm kind of getting bored with Topshot. I'm kind of getting kind of sad and depressed. My portfolio value is going down with Topshot. What else can I do? And Bored Ape just happened to right place, right time. And everyone jumped in on it, and they started building up that community and the hype. And it was like, all of a sudden, a lot of people from Topshot came over to Bored Ape, and they got super excited about something new. That they can actually be excited about, that their accounts were going up, and it just happened to be just a magical thing. I feel like it's kind of crazy to just think about. It's only been since May, 4 months, and already the floor goes from, the cost to mint was only what, $100, $200, $0.08, over $100,000 now for if you just want to buy into one. Like, it's insane. And at the time, Pranksy was like, they're not super active on Twitter as much anymore, but they were kind of like the person to follow on Twitter. Like, if they're minting something, you minted it. Like, they were like a role model like that. Like, everyone just minted what they minted, and they actually minted 12%. So they minted 1,200 of the Bored Apes, and they sold off a lot of theirs in the first couple weeks. And now I think they only have a handful left, but and so everyone kind of was just like, oh, if Pranksy's minting, I'm gonna mint too. And I think a lot of people kind of followed suit with Pranksy minting those, and it ended up working out really well.
How important is the art? So like behind your head, you kind of the lady that reminds me of a world of women. So like, how important is the art? Because anytime we bring up NFTs, I think across the board, people say World of Women is the best art. Like, I really love how these look. Cage is disagreeing. You've stayed silent this whole episode, other than a few faces. So if you don't think World of Women is beautiful, that's fine. I'm curious though, like, how important. Jen, do you like the art of World of Women?
I mean, art is subjective. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the World of Women art personally. I know that, sometimes it's like, oh, you're a female, you should like the female stuff. But it's like, it's not like I have to like everything that is female made. I personally did mint one, and I ended up flipping it, pretty early on. But I mean, the art's definitely important. It's obviously not the most important thing. I think, the team behind the project, that's a huge thing for me. I think I value the team behind a project over the art personally, because art is subjective, and it's like everyone likes different things. But I mean, if you're buying one of ones, then yeah, I think art is really important. But I think the creators of the art are even more important than the actual art.
So people pigeonhole you and say, oh, you're supposed to like a female-led project or female art. Are there any projects out there that you are a fan of? You're an influencer. Influencers influence. This is how this works.
You know what? I was a huge fan of those Fame ladies before all that shit went down. And basically they claimed to be the first all-female team. And at first I was like, okay, whatever. But then I was like, I actually really like the aesthetic as well. And so, I was a fan. I had like maybe 7 of them or something. And then it turned out to be like a couple Russian dudes behind it who were also behind all these other. Andrew, was that you? Yeah. So, and that was a disaster. And I sold mine, and I didn't really. Now it is kind of female led, because Bored Becky, she took it over, as well as NFT Ignition and someone else. They all took, 2 females and a guy. They took it over, and it's now like the community took over the project, which I think is so crazy. Like, that's just such a crazy concept. It's like it literally initiated as a scam in a way, right? That's like they were pretending to be females and they're not. And then they come out, okay, yeah, we are actually a couple Russian dudes. And then everyone dumps them like crazy. They, the floor goes super low. And then, Art Chick was like, hey, how about you turn over the smart contracts to me, and I'll give it to, some trustworthy people. And so Art Chick was like the middle woman between the trade, and then, they handed it over to Bored Becky and them. And so I think that's really cool. I don't have any personally, because I don't know, I already sold mine, so it is what it is. But I think that's awesome. Just
I bought a bunch when those dropped. When it was when that whole scam kind of happened. I bought 6 of them. I sold 4 for like double the cost of the 6, and I still have 2 Saturn red skins in the wallet.
So you took advantage of that scam. You're like,
what?
I knew the short term.
I knew Art Chick was going to come in and fix it. That's what she does.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
unless you send like BGLD or whatever it is, you know, to the wrong wallet.
Cage, how are you so plugged in with this young generation in your older age?
It's all over Twitter. He
Um,
just follows the right people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about who you
I
follow on
follow
Twitter.
these guys on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you're in NFT world, and I have to be NFT Twitter because Twitter dropped me one of their NFTs. I was gifted one of the Twitter 140s,
Ooh.
which
Oh
is
my
pretty
gosh.
sweet.
Yo, that
I
is
got-
so nice.
I-
You better
What'd you
keep
do
that
with it?
forever.
Did you
Andrew
still have
likes,
it?
what did I do? Of course, I'm never gonna sell that. Andrew
Oh,
likes
really?
to tell me that I jiggle. That's what he tells me. He says so. Twitter dropped me a jiggle. You know, the Jello mold Twitter
Oh, you got the Jell-O one?
JGGL. I
Oh,
got the
so
Jello
good.
one, so I have
That's
that.
awesome.
So I have to be on Twitter. I have to follow. No, but honestly, you know, the NFT stuff, it's got an interesting place in my heart. We have a lot of sports card fans who are listening to this, be like, "Come on, Cage, this is not what we listen to you for." You know, like, you're supposed to make fun of people. You're supposed to talk about sports cards. You're supposed to do your stuff. This is what your shtick is. But I mean, the audience out there who's listening and indulging indulging us in this episode, they also know I have a 12-year-old daughter who wants to be an artist. And it's funny because I used to just be like, okay, well, when you're done with that ridiculous dream, tell me what you really want to do with your life, right? And she's 12, and that was what I would have said to her when she was 8. That was what I would have said to her when she was 10. Okay, fine. Maybe if you get really good, we'll set you up with a Disney internship, and maybe, and that was like it, right? Maybe you can do some animation for one of these big studios, right? But even last year, I would have said that. But with the meeting you guys, meeting the people, seeing what's on Twitter, seeing what the NFT world has done for artists, for art in general, for being able to deliver art, for getting art out there to such a widespread audience, and layer on top of that the amount of female-led, female-driven, female art projects that are out there. Now I can say, because of the journey that I personally have gone over the last 9 months in this world, starting with Topshot, thank you, Topshot, is that I can say, you want to be an artist, you have all of the tools necessary to make whatever art you want to make in whatever form and get it out there to the masses yourself via NFTs. So I that's why I'm so plugged in. Because it's great, it's fun. I like to, I'll switch my avatar all the time. But right now, have you guys looked at my account? You see what my avatar is?
What is it?
Take a look, and I want to see if you know what project it is. You get on there quick.
right,
Jennifer's like,
let's
I'm gone, I'm off.
I'm looking
going.
right
Let's
now.
go. Because I switch it all the time. Last week it was like a fucking raccoon. Oh, did I just?
Oh,
curse?
you have
Anyway,
one of the fate. What is it called? Fatales or something?
Yeah, like I think it's supposed to sound sort of like
nice.
tamales, like fatales.
Fatales. I have one too, actually. I have one too.
See,
I like
there
the
you
art
go.
on that. I do like the art on that. The Fatales.
See, that was what I was expecting you to say. Although Steph doesn't like it,
I
but that's why
blanked.
she has less followers than you.
Yeah, that might be why. I don't
Oh,
have
my
one.
gosh.
That's why. I'm
Do you want one?
only promoting things I have. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you want one?
Oh, I'll take one
I'll
if you're
send you
offering.
one. Just drop me your wallet. I
Nice.
currently own
There we go.
123 of them.
Whoa! Oh my gosh.
My
That's
Yeah,
gosh,
good.
I told you
alright.
I'm getting into the female-led projects, and I'm gonna
that's
take
awesome.
100 of them, just stick them in a separate wallet for my daughter, and never look at them
Nice.
again. And there you go. And we'll start just putting some aside. This way, she has kind of like a female art project wallet for them. Are you pulling one up? This way people can look at them. Mine's
that's
a
what-
North Star.
And Art Chick was promoting that, right? Like,
Yeah.
or is that her?
It's her her and an artist. Yeah, it's her project though. Partially her
Nice.
project.
And she has a
So
huge
LukaNation,
influence.
The artist is Lizbeth.
you guys decide for us. So this is Fatalis.
Mhm.
Which art do you like better, Fatalis or World of Women?
Oh, these are actual people. World of Women is a cartoon.
These are actual people.
Are those
First of all,
actual-
they're both
they're based off
cartoons,
actual-
aren't they?
It's art. Yeah, but it's art. It's art. It's like it's an actual. I mean, come on. This.
It's
is
more.
like,
I think the other ones seem a little more 3D. These might seem a little more 2D. What I do like about these is the color and the brightness. It is the Fatalis are a little bit dark. Like it's kind of like turn up the brightness a little bit.
So I own both of these. I still own one of these. Mine's a really, really cool 3D glass bubblegum combo, which is pretty cool. One of the top.
I love the
10% rare,
bubblegum combos on
The
the
bubblegum's cool. Plus, I'm with 3D
Avatar.
because you can get a 3D in almost everything. But so I love the art on both of them. I will tell you where I give World of Women the nod. A lot of art projects allow you to do derivative art, and they encourage you to do derivative art, like your own artwork of of your avatar of the one you own. And the World of Women, because of the way it's done, it allows for a lot more creativity in people doing derivative art. Whereas the Fatalis one, it already looks like derivative art. Like it's already like very specific type of artwork that's out there. It would be a little tougher, I think, to do derivative artwork, animated, sure, that kind of stuff. But go ahead, Andrew. I'm
curious,
sorry, I took
Steph.
it off on a tangent, but we have
No. I'm curious
two
if
very
Steph has
important, female NFT folks here. So this is where the conversation goes.
I want to hear if Steph has a project that she's excited about.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like female led, I really love. I have to shout out my friend Swicky, who she owns a Bored Ape. She owns Ape Kiki, who actually is going to be featured in. If you don't know Beanie, his what is it called? Punk's Comics. It's going to be featured in that. Her ape is really becoming popular, and she's building a personal brand around it, which is awesome. But she's an artist, and she actually creates really awesome like galaxy art. And it's inspired off of her lucid dreams. She has lucid dreams. And so I have some of her artwork. They're called moonbeams. And she doesn't come out with a ton of supply, but I just really like her art. Not just because she's my friend, but like I love galaxy. I'm like a huge like galaxy person. And I'm like, what? You make galaxy art?
How are you not into Fatalis then? It's all about that.
Oh yeah, the
North
background's
Star,
galaxy.
Yeah, the background's all galaxy.
Wait, I have a question for Cage. Do you have any of the long neck ladies?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Those are not my favorite. That's it. It's
it was a 12-year-old girl, which was
that's
really
it. That's
cool.
I will get back into them. I will get back in because it's a 12-year-old girl, 100%. I will support any 12-year-old girl art projects that are out there, 100%. Let's go, because I have one. So, but all of the projects that I had, that was the one like the artwork. I was like, I don't know. But I'll get back in. I have them. You know what it is? If I don't get a lot, like if I miss the mint, and I get them cheap enough, and it explodes, I sell it. You know what I mean? Like I want that way I can get something else. You're doing the same thing.
We're just trying to make money out here. I mean,
this is part of the whole thing, right? I mean, Andrew's partly bringing this because it's a cool thing and it's educating, but what he has promised our audience, to LukaNation here, is that when he sees value, he will bring you value. When he sees an avenue for people to kind of have that side hustle, be able to to look somewhere to make money. And right now in the card world, it's not as easy as it was. You can still do it. There's definitely ways, and we bring our folks ways to do it, but it's not as easy as just, okay, I can basically grab any new shiny thing, send it in, grade it, make a multiple amount. You can't do that right now. You might be able to do it again in 6 months. You might be able to do it again in a year. There's the ways to do it, but it's not as easy. I think that this avenue, it provides for people, at least it has for the last couple months, the same type of potential multiple as is there. And guys, you know what you can do for us, because maybe there are some card folks who are listening still, because you're experts in this also. So I would like to tell our card folks how similar NFTs are to what we do with cards. Because at base, and Andrew's gonna hate me for this, at base we're gamblers, right? We like to gamble, right? We buy packs of cards because we want to hit something in that pack that is rare. We buy boxes of cards because we think one of those packs is going to have a rare card in it. And you know what? Maybe the ones that aren't rare, we sell back to try to get back some of our investment. And the ones that are rare, we hang on to. And maybe we sell down the road. Maybe we think that these things are going to appreciate. That's what buying, boxes or opening boxes of cards are about. So I'm sure you mint projects. Can you kind of go through why you mint projects and kind of like how that's similar? And if you don't want to, I can do it. But I want to hear you guys talk about it. Like you mint 10 of something, right? How does that work?
Yeah. So so a lot of people in this space, and this isn't everyone. And in fact, I've kind of shied away from this just because gas prices have really spiked up with Ethereum spiking up, and it's getting super competitive to do this. And it was a lot easier before. But basically, if a project says, all right, we're going to create, let's just say 10,000 of these profile picture avatars, right? And maybe you looked at kind of their roadmap, the vision, and you really like it. And you're like, all right, I'm willing to do this. Well, you have to mint them. If they're on the Ethereum blockchain, you have to mint them. So they'll say, all right, we're letting people mint them, at whatever time, and all you need to do is have your MetaMask wallet set up. You need to have the ETH in the MetaMask wallet, and then you can choose how many to mint. A lot of whales, people with a lot of Ethereum, are able to play this gambling game where they can mint hundreds of them, and sure, maybe most of them are just average, floor, the cheapest ones, but they could hit it big and get some really, really rare ones that could cover the cost of all of them plus make profit. And so that's what a lot of people are doing is, they're minting a ton and they're banking on getting, some rare ones, hitting the jackpot and being able to make all their money back plus more. And that has been working out for a lot of people. You definitely have to be willing to lose that money though, because sometimes, you'll mint a project and
it's a rug pull or something.
It's a rug pull, or you're the only person that minted, and no, but there's no hype. It dies, and then you're stuck holding the bag, right? And that's what we call it, holding the bag. And so it's a gamble. It's a gamble that way too. Is that maybe you get some good mints. Maybe the project goes to zero, So
I almost think it's too risky to be playing the mint lottery these days.
If you have a lot of capital, though, it is worth it, and you can definitely make a lot of money if you have a lot of capital. If you don't,
and a lot of conviction in the project.
If you don't have a lot of capital, I wouldn't recommend it because if you're only minting like 2, the probability is low. You're probably going to waste money on gas, and you're probably going to be really disappointed. And get burned. So
might as well buy in the secondary.
So only do it if you're willing to play with some big.
I love the advice, right? Andrew is always willing to play with big stuff. So, but here's the advice that you guys just gave, which is amazing, right? So the minting. So Fatalis, great example. I did not get in on the mint, and I'm glad. Because you're talking about gas wars. One of my favorite things, I'm in like 170 different Discords now for NFTs. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to keep track of all that. But I always just go in and I'm like, hey, I have gas. And then, of course, everybody laughs and it's funny. But so the I'm an idiot. You guys know this already. So like Vitalis, when it minted, I think it was a record at the time. The sevens was really fast the other day, but it wasn't 10,000. I think it sold out in 10 minutes. The full 10,000. That's 10 minutes, done, finished. No pre-sale, no nothing. The full 10,000 sold out. But because it was selling so fast and it was dropping at a time, a week and a half ago, that what wound up happening was the actual cost with gas was over 0.2, even though the mint price was under 0.1. So people were actually in them for 0.2. And of course, you know what happens after people play that mint lottery, you got people who have 20, 40, 50 of them, and they sell some of the lesser ones, or the ones they thought were lesser because there wasn't really a rarity tools out yet. So the ones they thought were lesser, they go on the floor and they start selling them for 0.1, 0.14, 0.15, less than what people paid in the mint. That's where I've gotten all of mine.
Yeah, that's also another game too. That's another game too. I actually prefer that method as well. Is that because then you can also watch and you can see, because sometimes during minting things go wrong or and then you're like, I'm gonna back out, right? So sometimes that Cage said that technique can often be a better technique, a more safe technique, is because you have time to back out if something happens and you're like, oh no, this is a red flag, but also. Yeah, you can be scooping up those cheap. Of course, less risk, less reward because, you're not going to be scooping up rare ones for cheap most likely. But still, yeah, that's a solid bet.
Yeah. So, because the two things you guys were concerned about, rug pull and not selling out, most likely the not sellout is done because you're only going to buy one that's a sellout. And the rug pull, hopefully you've now spent a little bit of time checking out how the team went through the launch, whether there were any issues with it, whether there were any issues with the minting, and what they've done, maybe rolled out as far as a roadmap after the sellout and that kind of stuff. So, and like you say, it's not the horse, it's the jockey, right? So it's the team behind it. And you guys all know our chick, and that's her deal. I'm not going to talk about that particular project anymore. It happened that's the same.
I'm curious, and I want to ask this question because both Jen and Steph brought this up. Steph brought up the roadmap. Jennifer said, if you believe in the project. So I'm curious, Steph, I'll go to you first and then Jennifer. If you're making a project, you have the PFP, you got all the art done. Mm-hmm. You're looking at, the roadmap. What's a compelling roadmap?
Honestly, stuff that doesn't look like it's just their to-do checklist. Like, there's been roadmaps where it's like, oh, we will hire a Discord moderator. It's like, huh? You should have done that beforehand. We don't need to know what your chores are. Like, we're gonna, it's like, it needs to be compelling. Like, it shouldn't be stuff that you should do. There's stuff that you should do, as a project. And then there's stuff that are bonuses. The roadmap should be bonuses. It should all be bonuses. And to me, when I look at a roadmap, it's stuff that tells me, okay, they're in this for the long game. You know, there's definitely roadmaps out there where it's like, wait, once this roadmap ends, it's like this is going to end in 2 weeks. Like this roadmap will be done in 2 weeks. I want a roadmap where I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to be building for like a year, 10 years even, you know. It's like, and a lot of projects, it's just the roadmap is so short-term, short-sighted that it's like, okay, well then you're probably just going to end up like moving on and doing another project, and like we're all just left in the dust, you know. So it has to be stuff where it's like, okay, we understand that you're dedicated to this project.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Twins,
I
just
agree
gonna
with
say
that
she did it again.
100%.
She did it again. Ditto. Twin ditto. Done. It's awesome. So you know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for, you know, the fun stuff with NFTs is that they build communities, right? They start off and it's just, we're going to build a community around NFT, just like you talked about with Bored Apes and all these other, you know, places, because, you know, there's nothing to them, right? But you know, you build up the unique holders, you know, they go through the ups and the downs on the secondary market on OpenSea, they go through the ups and the downs together on secondary drops or whatever bonuses come out, and you build a community. I'm waiting for, and maybe you have it already, the hundreds is out there, they already have a thing going for them, and you know, I'm waiting for a community that's already there to drop NFTs. You know what I mean? Like, why does it have to be backwards? Like, it would be cool if, like, you know, there's already a built up community. It's like, hey, we're gonna do NFTs as part of a community. You know, you're already a member of you know, something, and here you go. Now show it with this NFT. You know, like, now here's the bonuses we're going to give you for already being a member of the community. So that's, you know, that I think might be the next phase in this fun.
I agree with that, and that's what like a lot of projects. Why do we only know about projects like one day before they drop? Like, why haven't they been building up their community like, you know, months in advance? Like, why did they just create so many? And I like to call them the cash grab projects. They created their Twitter account for the project one day before the drop. The website looks like it was put together. You know, Jen's talked about these red flags. Website, it looks like one day they put it together, and it's like all these last minute. They just created the Discord. They don't even have mods yet. Like, it's like you need to be prepared. You need to set yourself up. And yeah, to your point, Cage, build the community first, and then the community, you know, they can all share that experience rather than you're just hoping to suck from other people's communities, you know, and you're trying to just steal from other people's communities. And it's like, yeah, if you building a community and bringing new people into the space, like that's the thing that we all want to see, because this community is so small. Everyone knows each other in the NFT space. I love when communities try to bring other outside people in, because we need more, you know.
And Gary Vee did a good job of that, you know, with V Friends. Like, he was prepping his people for a while. He's like, make sure you have a MetaMask set up. You know, he was educating people about NFTs before he even dropped V Friends. And, you know, now what is the floor, like 14 ETH or something crazy? And then, you know, he even did the whole, oh, you buy 12 month buy books, you're gonna be able to get an NFT. And yeah, he's doing a good job of that. Like, he built up a community. He's been educating the people too on, like, you know, how does this all work? Like, Cool Cats are doing that with paper cats that they're coming out with, like, you know, kind of an opportunity to learn how to, like, mint things for free and all that, like, just to educate. I think that's huge. Like, that's a huge part of it that often gets neglected, like educating people on the space and, you know, how things work, and, you know, just kind of giving people a better understanding on, you know, being able to buy and sell NFTs and all that.
Do you think it has something to do with, like, let's say I make koalas or lions, right? I make the art. Well, I don't want to be the second lion out there, so I don't have time to prep. Is there some of that in this, like, PFP space where the art is, other than World of Women, which has the best art, the art is pretty limited?
I mean,
there's multiple. Like, if you think the dogs, there's the Bored Ape Kennel dogs. There was the Slum Doge Billionaires, and then a couple weeks later, the Doge Pound came out, and it was like they were both supposed to be Doge, you know. And it's like, yeah, there's sometimes multiples, but it ends up being, you know, the cream rises to the top. Like, it just kind of is like, okay, this one. Or, you know, if it's different enough, then I guess you could have multiple animals, but I don't know why. It's always animals. I mean, it's animals or people.
But the thing is, people rushing to be first, it's not even about who's first. It's literally about who's best and who did it better.
Yeah.
With the Doge, there's 2 different Doge projects. Guess what? The second one did way better than the first one. It doesn't matter that you're first. And I remember there was this banana project and they were rushing so fast to get theirs out because, you know, when apes went wild, it's like, you know, people want apes need bananas, right? And they're trying to capitalize off that. And they literally were like, yeah, we were going to like work on this whole thing, but we're just going to launch. And they totally flopped. They barely sold anything. And then here comes the other banana projects that they were trying to get in front of. They do significantly better. So it's like being first, sometimes you fall on your face. Like, you know, don't rush. If you know you have a superior project, there is no rush. It doesn't matter if there's 10 cats. You know, Carlini, who's an OG in the NFT space, he released his Penelopes, a cat project. He's like the 10th cat project, right? But he knows what he's doing, and it's really good quality, right? And he knows
I love this project.
That he
Got
should be
my
doing.
first Penelope today, by the way.
Yeah,
Nice.
see, you're
I
smart.
speak out
Dude,
there, got my
Penelopes
first-
is underrated. You're smart.
What he's doing with the you know, I don't call it, is it like the lending, you can buy one for that, you know, like it's like floor protection. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. I forget the name of it, but what they're doing where
liquidity or something.
Yes, so they have like a pool where you could buy one from the pool instead of buying one on OpenSea. It's what they have going on there. It's why that one succeeded, even though it was the 87th cat, is because they brought something different to the equation. You know what I mean?
Quality.
And it's you know, it's like Carlini's behind it. It's the team behind it. And it's like he's an OG in the space. He knows what he's doing. He's not just copying someone else's smart contract and just, you know,
well,
like it's like
there's something to be said about that, right? You know,
Yeah.
also, even if it's not a smart contract, right? You know, like, you know, if you guys did a project, we'd know you're not disappearing. Right, you have a Twitter following. You're going to be there. You know, you're going to be there every day. You're going to do your show. You know, you're working on other projects. Yeah. Whereas, you know, a lot of these other projects that are out there, the development team is like, you know, they hide behind, you know, a souped-up version of one of their avatar things, and it's like, here you go. The dev team is, you know, Raccoon 1, Raccoon 2, and Raccoon 3, and you're like, what the heck is that? But I'm not surprised by your answers, guys. That it doesn't have to be the one that came first. As long as there's subtle differences, then it's okay. I mean, you're basically describing yourselves.
yeah no but what you're saying, like I'm always advocating for like we need more teams that are revealing who they are. It doesn't have to be every single person on the team, but at least one reputable person. And if you are going to be an anonymous team, at least, you know, have some credibility. Like we should know who you are. Like fuck Render, it's like we know who that dude is. You know, he's a credible dude in the space. And it's like, yeah, he's anonymous, but we still, you know who he is and everything. So it's like, yeah, have some credibility. Like build up your credibility first. Build up a reputation for yourself before you launch a project. I mean, right now it's kind of like the gold rush. It's like everyone and anyone. But in the future, it's not going to be that easy. You know, it's gonna there's going to be higher standards and everything, and people are going to be a lot less trusting, and more people are going to get burned, and then, you know, less people are going to mint just freely, you know, without really believing in the project or the people.
I'm curious, how does the community police itself?
Everyone just kind of like, I think everyone has such a strong sense of community in the NFT space, and we all I feel like everyone tries to kind of look out for each other, to where like people will tweet and call other people out or other projects out, or, you know, point out things that are wrong and stuff. So I mean, I think everyone just kind of, I think that's the fun decentralized aspect of it, where it's like, it's not just one, you know, central authority that's like, this project is good, this project is bad. It's like everyone's kind of, you know, coming together as community and helping each other out. I mean, I think Twitter has such a strong NFT community, honestly. I think Twitter has like the strongest NFT community out of all the social medias. And even for Discord too, because it's like Discord, there's a ton of different channels. But Twitter is just like, you just have to follow people. Yeah, it's all there. So
it's all there. What did we learn today, Andrew?
I want to ask one more thing. So I want to talk about evaluate that market. So data analytics, like you get to see trends, which NFT projects are doing well, poorly. What's to do at Evaluate, Jen?
So we started out, you know, just evaluating NBA Topshot moments. Now we have up to 15 NFT projects that we currently support, where you can, you know, analyze them and, you know, see the market cap, the number of unique holders, all that. We just built out a rarity ranking tool, so that kind of like rarity tools. And, we're constantly working on improving that as well. But yeah, just, constantly adding new projects. And we do have something big in the works we can't really say yet, but just really want to be kind of like the place where you go to analyze all your NFTs. That's ultimately what we want to be. So we're kind of just, working towards that and, hiring and really trying to build out the best analyzer platform for NFTs.
Steph, how can people go support CrypToys?
Yeah, definitely. I would say our Twitter, CrypToys HQ. It's in my bio. So just go to Steph Sutto, and then you can see in my bio. I have a podcast show, kind of interviewing people in the NFT space with the parent company, On-Chain Studios, parent company of CrypToys, and we're trying to grow our Discord and kind of give people sneak peeks on what's happening behind the scenes. People have been waiting for months for CrypToys to come out, and we're like, look, we're really working on quality. Like, it's been quality, and there's a lot of work. We have almost 17 members now on their team, and there's so much work going into it. I don't even know how a lot of these projects launch so quickly. I mean, because it's just like there's so much that has to be done, especially if you have big plans. And we really have big plans. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but we're trying to be transparent throughout the way. And everyone, our whole team is not anonymous. I've interviewed all the founders, everyone's face is out there. So we're putting our reputations on the line, our face on the line for this. And that's how I believe, hopefully we can set the precedent, and hopefully a lot of people are going to start having higher standards for, what they can expect from NFT companies and projects.
What did we learn, Cage? So here's what I learned. You could add to this if you want. So you don't need to be a first in this project world. Be best. Have a compelling roadmap. Be a positive part of the community. You don't have to stay anonymous. And actually, I think the community prefers you to come out and put like you just said, Steph, put your reputation on the line. And World of Women is better art than Fatalis. Those are my 5 takeaways. You have anything else, Cage?
No, I mean, I
want to brag about your 147
I don't
raccoons?
own 147 of anything. I don't have that many of anything yet, but I will.
Raccoon bones.
If the product is the right one. That was an interesting one, man. That project, the Raccoon Secret Society. I don't know if you guys did that. I don't know if you guys are in that.
Never heard of
So
it.
You ready for this one? So let me tell you what
great.
happened on this. Ready? Raccoon Secret Society. I minted a lot of them, and it is one of these anonymous developer teams, right? And it sold out really fast because it was only 0.02 ETH minting. I mint just like no time, because it was an easy entry level, right? And the art is really cool, and they have this cool thing built into the smart contract where 1,000 of the raccoons had what's called like a harbinger, where you were able to like ascend. They had this little third eye, and if you combine 3 of them in the smart contract, it took away the eye, took away that ascendancy eye, and you made a separate angel. It was a cool, its own smart contract angel the whole day. You only have 333 of them because it was only 1,000 of these, you name it. So, this was like a cool, different thing. You had to go in the smart contract and do it. They were going to build a website for it, the whole 9 yards. But what's funny about it is while people were doing this, for the first week after drop, you're in Discord and everyone's like, where's the project? And on the roadmap, it was like, once you get to 20% this, 100% is what they call the apocalypse. The apocalypse is happening with
the rug pull?
No. So everyone's like, it's a rug pull. Everyone's like a rug pull. Everyone's going to be a rug pull. It's going to be a rug pull. So, and for a week, everyone's asking for the development team to show up in the Discord. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? But wait for it. The things minted at 0.02, and they stayed around there, maybe a little less, like most things do. And the next thing, every day they lower, and it gets to about 0.005. So about a quarter.
Wow. Where did he go?
That's the apocalypse.
Oh my gosh. He just rug pulled us.
So he just explained what happened. Basically, he just rug pulled us like they rug pulled the community.
Okay. Well.
Yo, I had heard rumors about that project. That really sucks, getting rug pulled. That really does.
That does suck. Losing money is never fun.
He's gonna come back. Okay. Give it 3-4 seconds. He's gonna come back. We've been together for a year. We've been doing this podcast. We're on episode 430, I think it is.
What the heck? Jesus.
Yeah, we run it like a radio station, honestly. You know, because
That's awesome.
That's
our
impressive.
episodes aren't like the most like in depth, but we try to be kind of like the one-stop shop for anything sports card related. We did a little Topshot. So he's back. Cage,
Yeah,
great
what
display of
happened,
the.
man?
That
You
was the
rug
rug
pulled
pull.
us, dude.
That was
Rug pulled
You
us,
rug pulled
man.
us.
Yeah, that was
You
the
did
rug
the
pull. It was the rug
apocalypse.
pull. It was
You're
boom,
trying to show us the
a rug pull. It
apocalypse,
was
huh?
perfect.
Oh
I don't know
my
what
God.
I didn't even touch my stuff. It just I disappeared. It was like Andrew threw
That's
me off.
perfect timing.
He's really not in a good mood today. You could tell. Our audience will notice that he's really not in a good mood today.
He's like, leave.
He's upset. He did the whole like boom, he's out. Yeah, so apocalypse, right? So it's at 0.005, right? And it's sitting there a quarter of the price of like mint. And everyone's like, where is everyone? Where is everybody? And the developers come in and says, okay, well, it's apocalypse time. And all 10,000 of these raccoons with cool art, like, you know, they have like uniforms on, masks. They had like, you know, these like cool, like it was cool art. Every one of them turned into bones.
No.
They like
way.
liquefied them all, and so no more rarity involved. Like
Dude.
it still has rarity, like all of them. And they're like, well, now you understand. You don't really own anything with the smart contract. You don't really own this stuff. The Bored Apes have the same contract that we have. Everyone has the same contract. The guys who wrote the smart contract could do this to you guys anytime you want. You name it. And yeah, so they were trying to, I think, send a message, maybe, or maybe just keep their money. But you know what? They got a lot of backlash, and now what's funny about it is it's become sort of like, I don't want to call it a cult because most people don't know about it, but it's become kind of this thing. So you can like, the bones can be used to upgrade the angels. And what's funny is, ever since they did this like 4 or 5 days ago, the floor has now gotten back above mint price. Well, everything else is coming down.
And they're still working on the project? Like
they're back. They're actually there because I think they were kind of like, I think they thought it was going to be like a rug pull, but all of a sudden it worked. So now they're coming up with ways to use the bones to like upgrade the angels and stuff. It's the craziest story. Yeah, so that's part of the art. Like that's an interesting one there with a headband.
What token is it? Is it an ERC 721?
ERC 721. It's an ERC 721.
That's
100%.
Cage, is the project still on OpenSea?
Project's on OpenSea, 100%. Yeah,
what do I search?
So you're in it.
From the
you're
apocalypse.
In it. Just click on it. So that's
that's Save the Raccoon.
What does that
This is
say?
Save the Raccoons.
So it's Raccoon Secret Society.
Oh,
it's not on here.
Society. Uh-oh.
It is. You're just spelling raccoon. Spell it with 2 C's.
Oh, you don't know how to spell raccoon. Ooh.
Neither do they.
Who knows how to spell raccoon?
It's
hard. That's it.
Oh,
every single one of them. They just turned them all into bones. They're all bones.
Wow.
But what's the floor on it now, Andrew?
Wait, click on the
0.01.
Okay, so I mean, but that they probably like it's 0.014 probably. They round down. But yeah, I mean, it was half that.
Okay.
It was legit like half that. It was like 0.005 when they did this bones thing. And I'm like, all right, what the heck does this mean? People are like, what does this mean? What does this mean? It's
imagine being in the Discord. Like that must have been chaotic. Damn, I almost wish I would have been in there with some popcorn. Like
the
I mean,
Discord
that's sad,
went
but like,
nuts. Someone should have made NFTs out of the Discord. Right?
Seriously.
Because it went insane. And you know what? It's funny because the Discord before that was dead. Everyone's like, oh, the devs aren't here. It's a rug pull. We're done. And then boom, it became easily like I'm in a lot of Discords. It was easily the most active Discord we've had that I have.
I bet.
Interesting stuff, man.
Crazy.
You know,
can we wrap with a little WNBA Topshot? What's going on in that world? I know. I think that's a pretty big deal.
Sure. I did a showcase the other day. I got a showcase reward.
There's a new one out. There's a new one out today. Do that one.
They're doing a lot of them. So I did. I forget which one I got. I think I got Aja Wilson, but I never get a good serial number either. I'm not Wade's. Wade's gets all the single digits.
Oh yeah, huh? Yeah.
It's because it's like an automat, right? Jacob and Rohan, they're like, oh, this is the Wade.
I've never gotten a good cereal either. I've never gotten a good reward cereal, and they like me, so I don't know. Come on, if they're gonna rig it, they need to rig it in my favor. Come on.
You would think so.
Well,
yeah,
they
the
clearly
WNBA
don't
is
like me.
super exciting stuff. I can't wait for more packs. I'm excited. And the WNBA is in their season. Like this is their season, so it's like kind of exciting times, you know.
I paid the most for a moment that I bought in a long time for a WNBA moment. I bought.
Did you really?
Sabrina.
Sabrina Ionescu.
Yeah, I paid like.
Yeah, she's like
I think I might have paid $50 for it. I think I might have paid $50 for it because I figure
like
if I'm doing a showcase, I have to have her in. There's Sue Bird has moments. I'm like, this, believe it or not, the WNBA that brought me back in.
Me too. Me too. Because I was taking a little break. I'm like, I'm just gonna chill with my moments, and then I'm like, I want every single one of the WNBA moments. I completed the sets for them, and I'm waiting for more.
Next time you hang out with Royam, tell him F1. If he does F1 Top Shots or whatever it's going to be called, F1, what's it going to be? Top Motors, whatever it is.
F1 racing? Did you know that Rev does F1? There's an F1 racing. There's an F1 racing NFT.
Well,
it's not. It's probably not what you think it is, but it's more of a game. You can play it, like you can race.
I'm gonna do that. Let's go. Like a Zed run, but with horses.
Yeah.
I mean, Zed run with cars. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
I can send you the link to that.
Send me the link. This is, by the way, guys, we're all kind of just having a conversation, but this is the fun stuff. There are all these projects out there. I was at an event last night with Collectible and Starstock, watching a football game, and people were telling me about the NFTs that they're in. This guy's like, hey, this is a racing one. It's sort of like Mario Kart, and this guy's, and I'm like, all right, well, send me a link and I'll get in it. Might as well. How much is it? And no one talks about it in actual dollars.
Yeah, right.
Dollars are just done.
It's only this much ETH. That's it.
This much. How much ETH? How many?
It's like, just 1 ETH. That just seems so simple, right? 1 ETH. Oh yeah, $3,000. Like
Yeah. Meanwhile, 1 ETH in Topshot buy you like half the floor up. So it's they got to do that soon. They got to switch that over. They got so.
Yeah.
Put it in ETH, and all of a sudden they're gonna blow it out. Go ahead, Andrew. What are you finalizing? You look so upset. We're not allowed to talk.
You're doing good. So if you guys don't know, Cage was a setter on his volleyball team, and he's really setting me up today to crush this episode. So you're good at what you do. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
That's it. That's the deal.
Let people know, Steph and Jennifer, where people could find you. I know you mentioned it, but just once again, so people follow you, support what you're doing.
You can find me on Twitter at Jennifer_Sutto, SUTTO.
And same, Twitter is my main. And definitely if you're getting into NFTs for the first time, I recommend Twitter anyway. Steph Sutto, STPHSUTTO is my Twitter. And just try to look at the people we're following and follow all of them, because honestly, who you follow on Twitter is gonna really help you learn the culture and the community. And that's
I'm so selective with who I follow. I'm like, I only want to see NFT content on my timeline.
Yeah.
And guys listening, so I mean, same thing as with us. Like, if you have questions, if you're just getting into the space, just shoot people a DM and ask them. The NFT community is super helpful. They respond right away, and just the same way you guys slide into our DMs and ask us, is this a good buy? Why is this rock? We didn't even talk about the 2017 rock that sells for like $3 million.
Yeah.
Andrew has too.
Yeah.
No way. That's cap.
One day. I actually think it's kind of cool, because I was thinking about this Ether Rock. Someone tweeted about it. He's like, I bought this for $25K. Now it's $3 million. I'm like, this is so stupid. But then I'm like, but wait. Let's say I'm Neil Armstrong and I'm going to the moon, right? And I pick up that first moon dust. Wouldn't that be worth $3 million? So this is the first Ether project. There's only 100 minted. So we think of rocks as stupid, but depends what the context is. So if it was a moon rock and it was auctioning off today on some of the biggest auction houses, wouldn't that go for $3 million, Cage?
Plus, it has meme value too.
Meme value is the key.
Just the fact it's like a pet rock. It's just like a rock. Yeah, of course people are gonna, all the rich people are gonna want it.
We're minting rocks. We're gonna call it, the project's gonna be the rocks from Andrew's head. That's what
so LukaNation, hope you enjoy this episode. We'll be back tomorrow with your daily plays. Steph, Jennifer, thank you for joining us. Have an amazing weekend.